If you didn't catch us early today, some actually big political news today. Attorney General Eric Holder, he has announced he will be stepping down as soon as his replacement is confirmed by the Senate. That could take a while. The AG, the last original Obama cabinet member, other than Joe Biden, of course, and among the longest tenured attorney generals in American history. His retirement will set up a bitter confirmation battle in the Senate from whoever the president chooses to replace him with, and also will spark all sorts of chess games and guessing games about who that replacement will be. And more on that in the days to come. But speaking of 2016, some big names making news leading us to wonder who is and is not running here. Mitt Romney. And before you do a double take, you heard me right. He says he doesn't want to run. Obviously, he lost in the primary in 2008, and he lost in the general to the president in 2012. But a new report's out that says not only is he thinking about running, he's talking to advisors and weighing his options. Then there's Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, former Johns Hopkins neurosurgeon, regular on Fox News. He now says that there is a strong likelihood he, in fact, will run in 2016. How about Jeb Bush stepping up his public profile, campaigning for GOP candidates, including Senate nominee in North Carolina. And it was an interesting event. We'll get into that in a second. He's also seriously considering a run, and it sounds ready to take on the GOP's conservative base to do so. So let's start on the Republican side here, Bill. You heard some of the names, and it was interesting. Bush distanced himself from the guy he came there to support, taking more moderate positions, immigration, etc. Is there a feeling who can make it through the gauntlet of a primary? Is it a moderate, or do you need to have those conservative bona fides?
I mean, I think everybody's kind of guessing, but I think you really do need to have those conservative bona fides. I mean, you see Chris Christie in New Jersey who stays firm on social issues and the rest. I think you need to have that conservative base. I think Jeb Bush would get a pass in there because Jeb Bush is well known. He's well liked within the party. I don't know that he ultimately
and his last
does it.
name you don't think kills him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think in the party. And there's been enough time between administrations.
Really?
The Republican side.
Jeb Bush has a real shot.
I'm with Bill.
And
he does, as long as he doesn't have to run in a Republican primary dominated by crazy Tea Partiers.
I agree. He's one of the only ones that would get a pass in a Republican
Not
primary.
from voters, from consultants and from leaders, yes.
You're
I don't
right.
think he gets a pass in the primary. He certainly doesn't get a pass in the general. I mean,
I think he does.
the last name's a punchline at this point, thanks to W.
See, where I disagree
more
is
popular than Obama
in a
is.
primary, don't you
You're not
guys
saying
think
much.
that Republicans, and you know this better, but don't you think Republicans say, I'm going to, whether it's my rep, my governor, my senator, I may do litmus tests. But on the presidential, don't they want to win? Hasn't it been long enough that they say, I want to win?
It's a long process, and both parties, but the Republican Party especially is a coalition party, and you have gun groups.
28% of white old people.
No, that's not.
Where's the coalition?
Wait.
You have
notice
Southern
I didn't
Republicans.
say that.
Yeah.
Notice who said that. Because
Rick with the race card.
Just one more time.
Don't bail him out.
I just want to make sure I got it right.
Don't
He's
bail
already
him
wrong.
out. You're giving him cover.
Bill, I just want to make sure I
You're
heard
giving him
correctly.
cover. He doesn't want to answer.
You said the Republican Party represents a
Old white
coalition
people.
of old white people.
Where's the
28%.
coalition of the Republican
So
Party?
you have a coalition. You have in the South.
Conservatives and very
No, you have Christian conservatives. You have economic conservatives. You have libertarians. You've got foreign policy. Two types, kind of neocons, hawks, realists, three types. You have
This is your idea of a coalition in the America of 2014.
It is. It's
That's
the old
not a
Nixon coalition
coalition.
that's still together. It is.
That's a country
how
club.
about on your side here, pal? Because on the Democratic side, they got some problems of their own.
I'm not a member of an
Obviously,
organized
we
party.
all-
I'm a
yeah,
Democrat.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Obviously, Hillary Clinton, and people think it ends there, but maybe not. We got some other names that are floating trial balloons, including this man. Don't know who he is? Well, he's Jim Webb, former senator from Virginia, moderate, and certainly nobody's going to debate his military record before he came in. Reports are saying that he's seriously considering a run in 2016. Then there's Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. He's almost a lock to run for president. And for whatever it is, for my 2 cents here, I think he's one of the more underestimated people. When he actually gets in front of a camera and introduces himself to the American public, he may surprise a little bit. He's already gotten a presence in Iowa, and of course that the First Nation Caucus. And be still, Andrew, Elizabeth Warren. She says she's not running. She keeps saying it, but then we see headlines like this one. Bill Clinton saying that Warren's an important part of the future of the Democratic Party, and if Bill is saying stuff like that, the cynic in me says that he and Hillary think she's either running or could be considering running. We saw, Mr. Brodsky,
Yes.
we saw in New York Zephyr Teachout, who Dominic and I continued to call a punchline until all of a sudden we saw her get 30%.
34.
34, thank you, Bill. There is an element of the party who feels that they've been marginalized on the left. Do you think that we're going to see a protest surprise here? Not that they're going to win the general, but there'll be a major headache for Hillary.
Andrew Cuomo and Hillary Clinton are two different political personalities with different agendas, different ideologies. If she runs, she walks into it.
There will be a protest, progressive/liberal, in the race. It probably will be Bernie Sanders. I don't think he'll make a dent just to try to keep Hillary Clinton honest.
I doubt it. The fights will be about ideas and issues, but Hillary Clinton is not a right-winger on economic policy the way Andrew Cuomo was. And the critique of her is going to be sort of on foreign policy, where she seems willing to use American military force, where some people on the left are not. And what else? Where else does she fail?
You agree? I mean, I was surprised. There's an undercurrent of anger on the left who feel, even with this president, that they've been marginalized on a lot of their policy points. They've muted it a little bit because they say it's Congress's fault too. But I don't know if they go along to get along necessarily with Hillary, who they had their own issues with, 6 years ago.
Only time will tell. But it's my
Let me
belief.
write that down, Dominic.
Only time will tell.
You don't want to take a position.
Only
I
time
gotta
will
use that.
tell. But it's my contention that there will be no Democratic primary. You may have one or two minor players up
buy
against her. And Elizabeth Warren, are you kidding me?
No.
Up against Hillary Clinton?
Oh, no. Hillary beats her, but I think...
And she won't even challenge. And Bernie Sanders?
I don't know.
Democrats will
be a
line up
primary.
behind Hillary because the idea of losing ground to a Republican president on social issues is unacceptable for a wide
But do
swath
they
of
drag her
Democrats.
left in the
But the
primary?
difference between progressive Democrats and corporatist Democrats, there will be a progressive who runs against Hillary to keep her honest on economic issues.
I think that's right.
I think
Who? It won't be O'Malley. I mean, O'Malley may
You're
run.
more
but-
likely to see a third-party left candidacy
Agreed.
than a primary.
Agreed.
opponent.
I think
The
Jim Webb-
nomination is hers.
I think Jim Webb is trying out for VP. I think.
This is a good debate when we come back. I want to have Colorado School says it's time to teach patriotism in school and more. We'll tell you what they're talking about, but do you think this makes the founding fathers smile or weep? We're going to get into that conversation next.